vortex bass guitar, Mortis! How many times have I told you to take out the trash and, change your bass strings? They're disgusting! Ugh. Hails, minions and mortals, this is Fang from Lords of the Trident. A band is like a small family, and all families, no matter how tightly knit, will have their disagreements. What defines the strength of your relationship is not how few arguments you have, but how you handle those arguments. Maybe you're still in the honeymoon period of your band formation and everything is perfect. You don't even care that your bassist leaves his dirty socks on his amp while he's playing because, hey, he's a good bassist. But what happens 3 years down the road when you've smelled one dirty sock too many? How do you confront band members in a respectful yet impactful way? Hey Jamie, come here, have a seat. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat this, I'm just going to say it. I think all of us would appreciate it if you stopped injecting horse tranquilizers before every show, okay? First and foremost, as the band leader, you're going to want to create a set of ground rules for all the members of your band to follow. Band partnership agreements are a great way to set these rules, establish boundaries for royalties and ownership of material, and also agree on the process for removing a member if that should be necessary. If you haven't yet picked up a copy of Nolo's Music Law, I would highly recommend it, as it comes with all of the forms you'll ever need as a small band. I've got a link for it in the description below. Maybe a partnership agreement is too formal for you, or maybe all the legalese scares you away from signing anything. Not to worry, you don't have to use a band partnership agreement, but whatever rules you decide on, make sure there is a written version of them somewhere. An email to the entire band is just fine for this. Make sure that the rules are clear and that all members of the band understand them and agree. You see, son, this may come off as being the band dad to some members, but having written down rules will help to quickly resolve conflicts in the future. Even if your band's been going strong for years, it wouldn't hurt to clarify or define some expectations. A few ground rules that I use that you may want to implement or discuss in your band agreement are the following. Band members are expected to show up for scheduled practice or give reasonable notice, hopefully at least a day in advance, that they need to reschedule. Scheduling conflicts and emergencies will happen, but blowing off practice cannot become a habit. All viewers are expected to hit like and subscribe on this video. Oh, hold on. Oh, sorry, that was the video notes, not the partnership agreement, but please? Band members are expected to check email at least once a day. Band members must have an active cell phone, pay their cell phone bills on time, and be able to receive texts. It is required that band members have their phones on them before and after any shows in case of an emergency. Yes, I know this sounds crazy, but we have had 2 drummers in a row who were unreachable because they were not able to pay their cell phone bills on time. Band members are expected to pay for the upkeep of their own instruments. This includes, new strings, tubes, drum heads, etc. Missing or not showing up from a scheduled show is grounds for immediate dismissal from the band, barring, of course, acts of God, freak accidents, deaths in the family, etc. The band strives to have equal say and open discussion. Almost all matters should be decided on a majority vote. In the case of a tie, the final say will be given to insert the name of the level-headed adult who is not the band leader here. Removal of a band member requires the unanimous agreement of the band members, not being expelled. Once the band members have agreed on your rules, you want to make sure that you have the agreement in writing. I cannot stress this enough. Although everything seems peachy keen with the band right now, you never know when a guitarist will go crazy on mushrooms and set fire to your basement. You're in a band, these things happen. It's best to be prepared for the worst. Oh, and you might want to also invest in a fireproof safe. So then, man, I turned into Ghost Rider, man, and everything was on fire. In your basement, I guess. Sorry. So you've got these ground rules in place and everything is going smoothly, and then out of the blue, something bad happens. Maybe your singer insulted someone's friend at a show. Maybe your drummer drank too much before the show and dropped his pants midway through the set, which clearly has never happened to us. No, sir. Or maybe it's been a series of small occurrences that are piling up into one big annoyance. Well, what's the best way to approach this situation? Number 1, ask yourself, is this worthy of a full band discussion? Sometimes an occurrence may seem like a big deal to you, but not to other band members. Is everyone pissed, or is it just you? Do you want to gather the band for a band meeting to call out a member on his misstep, only to learn that you're the only one who noticed or cares? Before you do anything drastic, communicate with your other members. In all things, not just reprimanding, open communication is key. Number 2, ask yourself, is this something I can handle privately? Sometimes a gentle hand may carry more impact than a forceful hammer. Do you absolutely need to call the band together to correct this misbehavior, or can you pull them aside and talk to the person one-on-one about it? Some members of your band may become overly defensive in a whole band reprimanding session and may harbor feelings of resentment from it. Number 3, ask yourself, does this need an immediate response? Sometimes an incident is so timely that it needs to be handled right then and there. If one of your band members deeply upsets a diehard fan, you need to reprimand them in front of that fan to handle the situation and hopefully salvage their fandom. Sometimes, however, it may benefit the situation to take a few days off, to cool down. Words said in anger are rarely wise and rarely helpful. Don't be afraid to get a second or third opinion from your other members. Oftentimes they can provide helpful insight into the situation. Remember, keep communication open. Number 4, write down your grievances before presenting them. Emotions can get the better of us, and having a prepared set of bullet points, exactly what happened, exactly what went wrong, and exactly the remedy to the behavior, can help everyone from getting off topic. Also, just like the band ground rules, having a set of bullet points can help the other band members agree on the topics of discussion. You can prevent shouting matches or off-topic arguments by sticking to the points at hand. Sometimes a situation is grave enough that you might consider kicking the person out of the band. It could be from one incident, or more often, a series of escalating incidents. There are many points to weigh in your mind before kicking someone out of the band, but 2 of the biggest points to consider are the health of the band and the health of the band members. And I don't mean physical health. Having a person with toxic behavior in a band can be equally toxic to the members of the band. Consider if you or your band members are suffering undue stress because of this person. Is this someone you can't stand to be around for more than a few hours? Because that will quickly come to a head when you're on tour and you can't escape the person for weeks on end. Remember, you started this band to have fun and make music with your friends. Does this person turn it into a chore? Would you honestly call him or her a friend that you can hang out with? On the other hand, you have to consider the health of the band. Is this person essential to the longevity of the band? Are they the principal songwriter, lead singer with an unmatched voice, best lead guitarist in the world? If they leave, how likely is it that the band will continue? How likely is it that you'll be able to find an ample replacement? What takes precedence, the band or its members? That's something you'll have to decide. If this person is deeply invested in the band, it may do more good to have a serious discussion with them rather than outright firing them. Something along the lines of, if you want to stay in the band, some things need to change. Out of crisis can come the opportunity for huge growth. If you do decide to let the person go, it is essential for their closure that you explain to them why you're kicking them out of the band, how they can retrieve their gear, and what they're entitled to in terms of royalties, merchandise, etc. Again, having a band agreement, a band partnership agreement, can make this much, much easier. Do you have any war stories of having to kick a member out of your band? I certainly do. Tell us your tale in the comments below. This is the part that sucks about being in a band, but stay strong, pick yourself back up with a new member, and continue kicking ass. And if you've been kicking ass due to the advice in these videos, we'd love you to check out the extra stuff we're offering on the Patreon. These videos and all the extra stuff we do is made possible by our amazing supporters on Patreon, and we'd love for you to join our metal army right now. Point your most metal browser to patreon.com/Lords of the Trident. Thanks for watching, and stay metal.